Hello folks, shintigercurl here. Now, that dude in the straw hat. Now, normally, this would be the time for me to do my weekly review for professional wrestling, but if you probably can't tell, I bit my tongue earlier, so it's kind of hard for me to speak. But I'm not gonna do a TNA review because something has come to my attention that I feel I need to speak on. Now, I was watching The Daily Show tonight, which is pretty much my only source of news, because Jon Stewart is hilarious, and he brought something to my attention that I found extremely disgusting. Now, the Republicans. Now, I'm not a big political guy. I'm not very political savvy or anything like that. I just take information as I can, and I like things simplified down so I can understand them. But the Republicans, that's right, the Republicans who pretty much cock-block President Obama into doing whatever they want, who pretty much vilified him and who pretty much soured him on the entire nation of the United States. They literally held Congress hostage to get their Bush tax cuts still remaining in for the rest of the term, and that was disgusting enough. But what Jon Stewart brought to my attention was a lot worse, and apparently this hasn't been followed by NBC, ABC, CBS, or Fox News. Well, there was one guy, I don't know his name, but one guy who found issue with this, and nobody else is reporting on it. So anyway, it turns out the Republicans are doing a filibuster. It's a political term. Look it up. I had to look it up, so it fits the situation. But they're doing a filibuster on a bill that will give medical benefits to first responders to 9/11. Let me repeat that. The Republicans, the same people who said they said that Obama's plan and health care would kill old people, and said that the guy was the Antichrist and a communist and a socialist and pretty much every ist in the book that you can say. They fought hard to keep that tax cut, those Bush tax cut for the rich. It's very hard enough that they literally held President Obama down and kept him there until he agreed to the tax cuts. They fought hard for that. But now they're purposefully stopping a bill that will provide very much needed medical assistance for the first responders of 9/11. Think about that. And on the show, Jon Stewart had four in 9/11 first responders, and these guys were a mess. I mean, physically, all of them had medical problems. One guy had throat cancer on his throat, and one of them had heart problems, and another one just had cancer. And it was just a shame that, look, these guys, they didn't have to go down there that September day on September 11th, 9 years ago. If it was me, I wouldn't have gone down there because it was scary. No one knew what was going to happen that day. But they did it because they loved their country. It was their job. They did it. They didn't have to do it, but they did it anyway. They stayed there for a good year, digging bodies out in one of the largest crime scenes in history, being exposed to God knows what. They're dying off. One guy actually said that one of his fellow firefighters actually died from face cancer. His fucking nose fell off. What does that say? I've heard of some bad cancer, but when it gets to the point where your nose falls off your face and you have to wear a prosthetic one, then it's bad. And the fact that the Republicans, the so-called defenders of truth, the so-called upholders of American values, are cock-blocking this much-needed funds for these people, it is a fucking crime against humanity. I mean, this is the same group that spawned Sarah Palin. Where the fuck is Sarah Palin when she's around? She's out whoring herself for her new book or her new reality TV show, or her daughter's dancing poorly on Dancing with the Stars. How come you're not loading up your shotgun for these guys, huh? You talk about and Fox News. Fox News, the political machine that has made it their career on vilifying and destroying the image of Barack Obama. They have said nothing about this. One person out of the entire Fox News reporting staff has reported on this story, and it's fell through the cracks. What happened? I mean, the Fox News makes their business to throw in 9/11 whenever something big happens. Remember the terrorists? Remember the mosque that was going to be put up at near Ground Zero? They pretty much ran smear campaigns on that thing. And my personal opinion, they have a right to do that. I mean, if they want to put up mosques there, they're going to do it as long as they're not hurting anybody. If you got a problem with it, then you got problems yourself. But yeah, this is Fox News, and they haven't said one thing about it. Not only is this bad not only is this doing a disservice to the men and women who died on that day, but it makes the Republicans seem like a bunch of petty, rich-ass bastards who don't care about the real common people. Oh yeah, and the Senate Majority Leader of the Republicans, you want to know what he said? I'm sorry, but it's the holidays, and it will be disrespectful to Christians everywhere if we worked and actually did something for this bill. So, T.S. Yeah, so you're willing to hold Congress hostage just so you can keep the fucking tax cuts, to keep your gold toilets and your caviar and all that other good shit that you're used to. But when it comes to men and women who risked their lives, who lost friends and family on that day, T.S., too bad, we don't work on Christmas. That's disgusting. I can understand the Republicans cock-blocking Obama from letting him do whatever they want, from whatever he wants, because they're sore losers that they lost the presidential election to a black man. And don't say it, that I know it's the truth. That's the real reason why they're doing it. But why are you making the firefighters and the paramedics and the police officers suffer? I mean, they're sick and dying. They're dying, sick and dying left to right over this. And it's all the Republicans' fault. They're the ones who are stopping this. The Democrats all voted for it. They're voting for the bill, and the Republicans are filibustering it. And later on at that show tonight, John had Mike Huckabee on. Now, as you know, Mike Huckabee is a former presidential candidate, and he has a show on Fox News, a very popular show. And yet he's like, well, it's not just the Republicans. There's a lot of blame going around. And Jon Stewart was like, no, it's the Republicans. It's their fault. It's primarily them. It's just them. All they need is 2 fucking Republican senators to put the bill through, and no one wants to go to bat for it. And Mike Huckabee ain't got shit to answer for it. And that hunchback fuck. What's the problem? Really, what is the problem? It's bad enough that you just want to keep yourselves richer, and this bill is going to get defeated on January 1st of next year. I think of the coming up year, which is exactly the time when the tax cuts come in. The tax cuts come in. I don't know. So this is just a shame. This is just pitiful. And the fact that this story has seemingly fallen under the cracks is a crime in itself. CNN, ABC, CBS, it's just pitiful that no one is reported on this. And it's even more pitiful that Fox News, the attack dog of the Republican Party, is not reported on this. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly. Where's Bill O'Reilly when you need him? Rush Limbaugh, where's his fat ass when you need him? What about Fox and Friends? And what about that psychopath Glenn Beck? Where was that procrastinating fool when you need him? Oh, wait a minute. He's comparing himself to Martin Luther King and making big ass speeches on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. That's what he's doing. Yeah, you can cry because President Obama got elected, but when it comes to the first responders for 9/11, well, you're shit out of luck. I don't know. And what about you, Sean Hannity? Or is it Combs? I can't forget which, but whoever that little knockneck motherfucker is. What about him? America is the single best, greatest country God ever put on this face of the earth. How come you ain't saying shit? The other networks I can forgive. Fox News I cannot. It just proves to show that Fox News is the whores of the Republican Party. They won't report on anything that makes them look bad, and this whole issue makes them look really bad. So this is why I'm ranting. When it gets to the point where these people are dying and they can't get any benefits or any help for this, and nobody seems to care, it's bad. And you know, I just talked to my mother, and she said this, and I quote, that if another terrorist attack happens, don't expect the kind of response that happened on 9/11. Because why would these people risk their lives for a country that doesn't seem to really care about them? Why would they go into flames and fire and see bodies mangled and have their friends die in front of them? Why would they do that when their country can't even help them out when their bodies are being torn inside out from toxins and chemicals that result from these places? And it's bad enough that there's some dick shits out there that think the whole thing was staged. Yeah, those guys really. Yeah, that guy really staged. He really did a good job acting when his nose fell off. Yeah, it was a master plan. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry if you were expecting a wrestling review. I'm just not in the mood right now, and I'm gonna spread the word about this because this is just a fucking crime. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. I hope everything bad that happens the next year happens on the Republican Party. All their major faces get shoved in the dirt. I hope Fox News goes bankrupt after this shit. Republican Party, you get 2 fuck yous. So that's me. This is my rant. It's a shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat. And please, if you're watching this, spread the word. Let everyone know that our heroes aren't getting the respect they deserve and getting the help that they need. See you.